Hi everyone! Welcome to Souped Up Recipes. Today we are making 韭菜盒子. 韭菜 is garlic chive, which is the main ingredient. 盒子 means box or pocket. In this recipe, it refers to its wrapper. It's kind of like a dumpling, but much bigger, and it is pan-fried on both sides until golden brown. You can think of it like the Chinese version of empanada. It's super delicious. Let's get started. First, we're going to make the box part, which is very interesting and special. The wrapper is half denatured and slightly leavened to provide a texture that is a combination of pleasantly chewy and fluffy. I've got here 350 grams of all-purpose flour, adding half teaspoon of salt and stir to incorporate it well. Use your finger to roughly mark a line through the middle to divide the flour in half. On the left side, pour in 140 grams of boiling hot water and stir it with a pair of chopsticks. Hot water would denature the protein and allow this half of the flour become an extra soft and tender dough. Cover it and let it cool for about 5 minutes. You can touch it to feel the temperature. Once it doesn't burn your hand, dissolve 1/8 teaspoon of instant yeast into 90 grams of room temperature water and pour it into the other half of the flour. Stir it at the same time. Let me highlight the correct order. You should pour in the hot water first, let it cool, then work on the yeast water. Do not reverse the steps, otherwise you might kill the yeast by accident. Get your hands in there and start gathering the flour together. Don't forget to scrape the bottom of the bowl. Once all the flour is joined together into a rough piece of dough, you can add in 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil to tenderize the dough. Knead it until the oil is well absorbed. Cover the dough and let it rest for 10 minutes. When you come back in 10 minutes to knead it again, it should be much more doable and elastic. You can knead it smooth within a couple of minutes. Shape it into a long log. Wrap it with a plastic film and let it proof for 20 minutes. We want the dough to be slightly leavened instead of fully rised. That way the wrapper will come out a little bit chewy like dumpling skin, but also a little bit fluffy at the same time. It's really hard to explain. You just have to try it out and be amazed by its texture. While waiting, we can make the filling. I got 2 bundles of mung bean noodles here, about 80 grams. I'll link this product in the description. You can check it out later if you don't know where to buy it. We are going to pre-cook it first. Bring a pot of water and add the noodles in. Cover the lid. Turn off the heat immediately. Let them soak in that hot water for 1 minute. Drain the noodles and rinse them in cold water to stop the cooking process. Shake off the excess water. Get a knife and roughly dice the noodles into 1/3 of an inch long pieces. Put all the noodles into a bowl. Color it with 1½ teaspoon of dark soy sauce so it is nice and brown. Add a drizzle of sesame oil to coat the noodles so they don't stick together. Set it aside. Crack 3 eggs and whisk them really well until you don't see any obvious egg white. Heat your wok until it's smoking hot. This is important. A hot wok will make sure that the egg doesn't stick to the bottom. Add 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil to the wok and swirl it around. Then turn off the heat to let it cool a little bit. This is also important because we don't want the egg to set immediately, otherwise you can't break them into small little pieces. Turn the heat back on medium-low and pour in the egg. Quickly stir it with a pair of chopsticks as fast as possible. By doing that, the egg will be scrambled into these small little bits. This does take some practice, so if your egg comes out chunky, that is okay. You just have to roughly dice it on the cutting board. Set it aside. As the name suggested, this recipe is imparted with a large amount of garlic chives. Its scientific name is Allium tuberosum. It looks like chives, but the leaves are flat. It has a strong garlic flavor. That is how it got the name. Most Asian grocery stores will carry it, and I don't know any replacement for it because nothing tastes similar, but you can still make this recipe with other aromatics such as fennel leaves, cilantro, and even diced onion will work really well. I mean, the flavors will be different, but you can call it fennel box, cilantro box, or onion box. Put it into a big mixing bowl, add a drizzle of sesame oil, and mix it well. The oil is going to wrap around the cut surface, so when you season the filling, the sodium won't draw out too much moisture from the garlic chives. Otherwise, your filling will turn out watery and soggy. You can use regular cooking oil for protection purpose, but I prefer sesame oil as it provides a nutty flavor. Adding the diced mung bean noodles and the fried egg. Season them with 2 tablespoons of soy sauce and 1 teaspoon of 13 spice powder. I'll link this product in the description. If you don't have it, you can use 5 spice powder. 2 cloves of garlic. Press them through a garlic presser. Half teaspoon of salt. The last ingredient is a little bit special. 5 to 6 tablespoons of dried baby shrimp. It has a strong umami taste and it goes really good with the garlic chives. I know it looks like fish food, but it is a popular ingredient in Chinese cuisine. If you can't find it, you can finally dice some fresh shrimp and use it as a replacement, which I have seen some Chive box recipe do. If you are vegetarian, you can use rehydrated dried shiitake mushroom. It will also provide an umami taste. One thing you need to be aware of is that this dried baby shrimp is quite salty, so if you change to a different ingredient, you will have to adjust the sodium amount. Okay, mix everything and your filling is done. The dough has been rested for 20 minutes now. We can start making the wrapper. Transfer the dough onto the working surface. Divide it into 12 even pieces. Each one should be about 45 grams. Roll each piece into a round, smooth ball. Cover them with a slightly damp towel so they don't get dry. Take one piece of the dough, dust it with a little more flour, flatten it with your hand first. Then we are going to roll it into a round wrapper. The diameter should be at least 5 inches. I don't want it to be a perfect round, so I will roll it a few more times in the middle to make it into an ellipse. That way, when we fold it in half, we have extra room to make pleats. Put some filling in the middle of the wrapper. Carefully lift up one side. Fold it in half. Lightly press the edge to establish the position, but don't seal the wrapper completely. Gently poke the wrapper to reposition the filling. Then push out as much air as possible. Press the edge tightly to close the box. Start making the pleats around the edge. This is completely optional and just for the presentation. Look how pretty that is. Turn the heat to medium. Cast iron skillet takes some time to heat up. Put your hand above the pan. If you feel some heat waves, you can add a couple teaspoons of oil, just enough to cover the bottom of the pan. Placing the chives. Each side takes a few minutes. The filling is mostly cooked, so we can just go by the color. Once it is golden brown, you can flip it up to cook the side. Take them out. Serve them in a little basket. I just can't wait to eat it. You will not believe how tasty this is. I mean, for the people that have never had this before, it is hard to imagine the flavor because there's no meat in the filling. But the combination of mung bean noodles, egg, and the garlic chives is just surprising. That baby shrimp gives it really unique taste. Also, springtime is the best season to enjoy garlic chives. It is fresh, slightly sweet, and extra garlicky. I hope you give this a try soon. If you did, leave me a comment, let me know how it goes. As always, don't forget to check the description where you can find all the links, including the printable recipe, the related videos, the purchase link for special ingredients if you don't know where to buy them, or the tools that I have used in this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!